Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to ozcastnetwork.com for details.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
It's quite a joy to be able to live at home and have that experience and, not have to, expend too much money and, you're getting helped out a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's a certain point, I guess, where you hit an age where maybe you should probably hit the road and your parents want you out.
Why are you staring at me while you say this?
We got your mum Irene on the phone.
It's an intervention.
Sit down, have a glass of water. This is it. But,
you don't want to be standing for this one.
All right.
There's these two blokes over in Italy, in Milan, and they're experiencing just this, where their mum pretty much wants to kick them out. However, if you look at their ages, it does remind us of a certain movie.
I have a 40-year-old son, Dale, who still lives at home.
I have a 39-year-old son named Brennan who still lives at home with me.
It does have a bit of that Step Brothers vibe.
So how old are they?
These two guys are 40 and 42, and they are the sons. They're the sons of their mother over in Milan. They're both employed, actually, which is why it's griped the mother a lot, because they don't contribute to the house. They kind of just freeload.
There is a cost of living crisis, guys.
You're like, lay off them.
You don't know their situation or their story.
But,
walk a mile in their shoes, you know what I mean?
Live in Milan, be employed, live at home. I'd love to walk a mile in their shoes.
What a life, actually.
Yeah,
Imagine living in Italy,
great.
getting the pasta every day, and you're not paying anything, not paying a cent. But, they're both employed, and the mother wants them out. She's gone as far to go to the court to remove them from the house. And it's really funny because at first the judge came out and said, no, it's fine for them to live there because, by law, they're your kids.
Yeah. It says an obligation of the parent to provide maintenance. However, they found that this particular case, it wasn't justifiable given they were both over the age of 40.
Yeah, so there's a loophole. As soon as you hit a certain age, it doesn't matter anymore. So they've had to be kicked out. And they're on their last legs. The last day for when they have to move out is December 18th.
Yeah,
they're out of the luxury living. But it's crazy. When you look at the stats here, it's got as well. It says 1 in 10 Aussies have either moved back to home with their parents or had an adult child return home in the past year.
And I'm sure the parents love it. I'm sure they're really happy to have us there.
I love the term adult child as well. In the
adult
survey.
child.
Yeah, you've had your adult child crawl back home.
Yeah.
Man baby.
I will say there is a cost of living crisis. And I mean, being a single person in today's economy, it is tough.
It is tough.
And I wouldn't be able to rent by myself. And so if I want a housemate, I guess my mum's a good one.
There you go, Fresh Fam. Text in now, 0428927927. Davo's on the hunt for a housemate.
Oh, yeah.
I want to open up the phone lines. Wind Back Wednesday, we want to know how old were they when they moved out? Somebody's texted in saying, I'm 28, only lived out of home for about 6 months. I'm happy either way, but living at home is good.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, no judgments here. You know what I mean? There's a cost of living crisis. Another one here.
Davo's on her knees like, please, no judgment.
Another one here says, I'm 39 and just moved back with my parents after a divorce. I hopefully will be out before my mum takes me to court.
I feel like this segment has put the fear of God in people that it could be a lawsuit at hand with your parents if you don't move out quick enough.
40 plus.
Someone said, I'm 46 and a proud Italian woman, never married, and you just don't move out in our culture.
There you go.
There you
we
go.
got a really nice, wholesome text come through here. Stayed home to look after Dad because his health till I was 17, then moved out, and then my dad actually moved in with me when I was 28 as he was on his last legs. Rest in peace, Dad. Hey,
nice.
Shout out to number ending in 68 there.
Hey, and what a privilege you got to look after him, so good on you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got this one here as well. It says, I am 29, but if I'm still at home at 30, I will cry. Sorry, Davo.
Shame. Shame.
Yeah, well, you don't know what life will throw at you, okay?
Barrels like Donkey Kong. It's going to go hard.
Wow, this text just came through. Check this out. I was only 14 when I moved out of home.
Wow.
Me and my dad didn't really get along, sorry to hear, but I stayed in school and got accommodation through a youth hostel, got myself a job and then finished school before moving on to university. Probably the greatest thing I ever did.
Good on you.
Hey,
Yeah,
kudos
absolutely.
to them.
Yeah.
This one here as well reaffirms the whole Italian thing. Someone said, my mate's Italian and his mum would never let him go. He's set for life.
And one last one here says, my child is 14 and let me tell you, I'd love for her to move out. Teenage years haven't been kind to us.
Oh, Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. Oh, Davo, Tom and Callum podcast.
I'll have what she's having.
Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
As we know, technology is getting pretty crazy. Artificial intelligence is going to take over. Brace yourselves, it's coming. a bit of alarming there.
I feel like me and Callum have really rubbed off on you in these last couple of years,
It's
Davo.
not good.
To the point where I'm chilled out about the AI takeover now. I'm just sitting back knowing it's going to happen and we'll get enslaved by the bots. But, you're a step behind. You're in the freak out territory still.
Well, this is the thing. Last night I had a very crazy incident that happened and I was on my phone scrolling through really old photos. Like they were photos from like 2019. And I sort of was looking through those selfies and I was like, wow, my skin looks incredible there. And I wasn't saying this out loud. This is all in my head.
Yeah, okay. Not helping your case.
It's all in your head.
Oh, no. This isn't a conspiracy, boys. This is real. Anyway, this is in my head and I'm like looking at my skin in these photos and going, in my head, monologue, going, I wonder what did I use on my skin back then? And I remembered I had money then, so I was like, wow. I think I was using Dermalogica, which is a really fancy, ritzy brand, you know? And I thought, no wonder my skin looks that good. And anyway, popped onto Instagram straight away after saying nothing out loud, and a Dermalogica advert popped up.
Ooh.
It read my mind. My phone read my mind.
Now, have you been wearing a tinfoil hat from 5 to 6 p.m. like me and Callum instructed?
I am so angry that you say this is a coincidence, Tom.
I think it is just a coincidence.
Is it?
This has happened to everyone, and everyone's always thought, "Oh my god!" But it's just a coincidence.
I wonder if it's a bit of like a bit of confirmation bias kind of thing. Like when you have.
How dare you? You believe in lizard people.
You can't say that.
Don't broadcast it, they're listening.
I do not. You don't know what radios they have underground by the magma core.
How dare you? You're both gaslighting me on air.
You know when you've got a Spotify shuffle going and then a song
You're thinking
pops
of
up
a
and you're
song,
like, oh, I swear I thought of that a second ago. Why is that song playing? I feel really connected to it. But really it is just on shuffle.
I have not thought about Dermalogica for years because I cannot afford that stuff. I cannot afford it. And in that moment where I've gone, I used Dermalogica back in August 2019, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, I've clocked onto that. Here's your advert, babe. Get it back.
Maybe, though, you've subconsciously been thinking about and doing things to do with Dermalogica that haven't...
Leading up to it.
Yeah, leading up, and now your phone's caught on that you want some Dermalogica.
The shit you two believe in, the shit you drag me into, and I'm trying to get some support here that the AI is taking over.
I wouldn't say we believe in anything crazier than your phone's mind reading it.
You are, honestly, stick away from psychosis, all right?
Maybe.
I reckon you're the one.
dare.
You're the one that's close to psychosis,
This
Davo.
is giving that sort of vibe, the mind reading and Dermalogica in your head.
Whatever.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
It's time to face your fears. 12 irrational phobias, but only one can be the scariest. Tournament of Terror on Fresh 92.7.
As always, here at Fresh, we are trying to find the truth, find the answers, and right now, for the next couple weeks, we are going to find out what Adelaide fears the most in our Tournament of Terror. We have 12 different fears and a tournament table-style knockout where each day, Fresh fam, you will head to our Instagram at Fresh927 and vote in our poll for which fear you find scarier. And what happened with yesterday's?
Well, yesterday we had clowns versus the dentist in terms of what is scarier. Of course, the Fresh fam called up and they also went to the poll on the Instagram to decide. And Davo, you had the results there. What is scarier between clowns and the dentist?
Well, boys, let me tell you, this was a very, very close call. It's 51% to 49%.
Wow.
Wow.
But the scariest is Clowns.
Hey.
Clowns take out the weird. So that clowns are advancing onto the next round, which is very spooky stuff.
I mean, very nice for the dentists that listen to our show. Considering,
I'm sure, yeah.
And at least they know they're not that scary.
But boys, what are the two fears today that we're going up head to head?
So the two new ones for today to kick off this round are birds.
Oh my god!
That was loud.
Pierced my ear.
Sorry, freshman.
Sorry about that.
What an eagle! What a beak on that thing!
It's like he's in the room with us.
Put me to the ground.
And it will be birds versus public speaking.
Yeah.
Two interesting ones. I guess an animal versus, an experience, a human experience that is quite awkward.
If I was to choose one out of the two, I must say I think I've conquered a fear of public speaking, but birds, mate, they're too unpredictable for me.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, we had a pet budgie, and my mum decided that it would be really fun to put the budgie on my back, and the budgie went absolutely bananas, like it lost its mind.
That's it.
Flapping its wings, and I've never been scared
A
of.
lot of bird phobias do come from those experiences and stuff. My mum has one a little bit from getting chased by an emu as a kid. A full emu. And emus are terrifying. You see the necks on those things?
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, look, Fresh Ram, it's over to you. What do you find scarier out of birds or public speaking? Now, for me personally, I don't really... neither of these are a big fear of mine, but if I had to pick one, I'm saying public speaking.
Yeah, I mean, we did a question thing here in front of a small group, and Tom, you were silent. You were terrified.
And he had a macaw on his shoulder, so he's definitely not scared of birds. I don't know what's happening with his phobias.
Plenty of people getting involved on the text line at the moment, sharing their opinions. Got to give a shout out to the two WM boys, Meerkat, Ren Dog and Happy, who have texted in saying, I wish the breakfast team was scared of public speaking. Then we could hear more music. Ha 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 ha.
The cheeky boys, though, asking for a shout out after that. Bloody Meerkat, Ren Dog and Happy.
I like the civil ha 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 at the end, just so it's not as scathing, right?
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for that, boys.
We got a text in, though. Someone said birds, the beaks for me.
Yeah. On the contrast, someone said had an awful public speaking experience, so they're going for that one. They say they tripped on stage at a work conference during their first week and full face planted.
Oh, yeah, that's no
It's a
good.
bad one. That would put you off public speaking, eh?
Another one here says public speaking. I threw up in high school during a speech and never have been able to face the mic again.
Yes.
Jeez.
And lastly, birds are the worst. Think about the seagulls eating your chips.
Yeah, okay, right. So a pretty even spread on the text line. We're going to head over to our phone lines now. We've got Tim from Mount Osmond. Tim, good morning to you, mate. What do you fear more, birds or public speaking?
Good morning, gang. I don't like public speaking, but I hate geese.
Geese?
Geese? What's the go with geese? What do they do to you?
Well, they chase you, they peck you, and sometimes they go for your testicles.
have you had an experience where the geese goes for your testicles?
When I was very young, my parents were minding a farm in Tasmania, and this was with me for the rest of my life. I had a few geese chasing after my balls.
Wow. Did they go for a peck? Did they make contact?
Well, you're hiding seeds in there.
They didn't make contact, at least as far as I can remember.
I'm sure Tim's had plenty of experience with birds coming after his Jats crackers.
Thanks, Davo, I wish.
Good on you, Tim. Legend, mate. Thanks for getting involved.
See ya.
See ya, mate. Hey, we've got Isaac from Andrews Farm. Isaac, you're scared of public speaking?
Oh, yeah, but you kind of made me do it on the radio anyway.
We're forcing you to face your fears today.
At least you're not in front of anyone, so it's a bit easier, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit easier, but yeah, heart still races and all that. And I don't see if anyone can be afraid of birds, though, because they're delicious.
Just go to KFC.
Yeah.
Have any of you actually tried emu? It is fantastic.
I've had an emu burger, once. It was all right. I didn't mind it. I hate birds, though, so I took great joy in eating it.
I've only had turkey, duck, chicken. Turducken. All right, yeah. I mean, good on you, Isaac. Thanks for getting involved. Terrified of public speaking. Remember, Adelaide, you can head to our Instagram at Fresh927 and vote on our poll.
All right. I get older. The Davo, Tom and Callum podcast stays the same age.
It's no surprise to anyone here locally that SA has some of the best beaches in the world. But it's always good to get some recognition, and that's exactly what's happened here, boys. The website mydatingadvisor.com has released a map.
Known for their beach reviews.
And known for their, obviously, really hardcore journalism.
Absolutely, yeah. Up there with the Tizer, I reckon.
Of course. They've released a map of the best nudist beaches in the world. And would you believe it, bloody Maslin's has come third.
Wow.
And there's no surprise because we've been giving it a lot of publicity here, right?
Yeah, I mean, one of us has.
Yeah, I feel like you are the main responsible cause for, everyone to check it out now.
I mean, I'd like to think so, obviously.
The ambassador of Maslin's.
I'm genuinely not sure if I've ever been to Maslin's.
What? We've got to go, babe.
Yeah, take me along.
Yeah, we'll go. It'll be nice. It'll be bonding. It'll be gorgeous. But basically, the location was ranked third with the skinny dipping index score of 72.75.
How are they rating it? Are they, how many is there, low percentile of nude old men that you have to stare at? What's the ratings that you have to go through to make sure it's a great nude beach?
How many fedoras are there? Because that's a big part of it. No, they basically, the beach quality, safety, weather and lodging were taken into account. And this was across 7 key metrics of skinny dipping friendliness. Pollution, blue flag status, weather, air temperature, water temperature, safety and hotel costs.
I'm imagining the assessors going out with a clipboard, but they're just stark nude, just trying to really get engaged for how good it is.
Nothing on but a necktie.
I would like to think that they came down and checked it out when I was there, you know what I mean? And they were just like, wow.
It's a 10 out of 10. Look at the babes here.
How good, though.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Hey, most people think about their dream wedding for years, don't they? Right?
I mean, I guess.
I mean,
I've given up.
Yeah, how many years ago were you talking?
I mean, growing up and stuff, you think about all the different factors, I mean, for women, the dress you want to wear and stuff, the venue, where, and it's unfair at the end of the day because, you're not going to be able to have everything you want. You're going to have to make sacrifices here and there. Well, no more. Throw these sacrifices out the window and don't settle for less. Because what would I say to you? What would you...
I don't know. What would you?
What are you going to say?
well, I'm very excited.
All right.
What would you say if I told you can have everything in your wedding plus more?
A groom as well? Or?
I would be like, and what would you say to that?
I would say popular fast food chain KFC are offering an $80K wedding.
Wow. $80K.
How good is that?
I don't care. So $80K, does the expenses go towards, obviously the food?
Listen, mate, you get the KFC baby wipes at every table. The fresh smell of Kentucky Fried Chicken as you walk down the aisle.
But I mean, it's not $80,000 worth of food, though, is it? Not $80,000 worth of chicken.
It's a wedding where they're budgeting $80,000.
I was going to say, chickens around the world were all quivering in their boots, going, "Oh my god!"
I mean, maybe you can get a Colonel lookalike to officiate the wedding.
Yeah.
Bolo tie and all.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, this goes towards entertainment, the venue. There's a few things included in that. And, of course, the catering.
Yeah.
Which, do you know what? Sometimes when you go to a wedding, and I know everyone wants to make it classy and you have a fancy dish, but when you're having a party... and you're wanting to have a few bevies.
Yeah, how good would a go bucket be on the D4?
Oh, mate, extra chicken salt.
No, this is what we've said before with weddings. So instead of the alternate drop and, having the mess in your head of that, you don't know what you're going to get, just a nice bit of chicken, just quick and easy to eat. That's what you want.
So basically, if you're interested in this, it's to promote their new barbecue onion ring burger. And all you got to do is propose to that special person in your life with an onion ring in 100 words or less, write a little thing why you love KFC and a quick 15-second video. And the best proposal and video and essay thing will win this wedding, which is worth up to $80K.
All right, boys. How badly do you want this $80K wedding? Because I'm waiting.
Go get it.
Davo, I was going to suggest to you, all we have to do is get proposed. If we don't win it, we don't have to follow through.
You don't have to say yes. And I assume you wouldn't say yes if you're getting proposed with a with an onion ring.
Wait, should we just give it a crack?
Love this podcast? Support it and sponsor today. Simply head to AuscastNetwork.com for details.